Hi, everybody. I am Sharon Rexroad. I have a creative business called the Color Filled Cottage because I'm all about color and a cottagey romantic look. And right now I am in my crafting studio. I have a shelf unit in the back behind me here, and it has all my Maker Studio products on it. And the top has both the gel art inks, which is what we're going to use today, and my ceramic inks. What we're going to be doing today is transforming little Oui jars. Does anybody else collect these like me? Into cute little, oh, got to go with the mirror image here. Cute little bunnies. So they're bunny pots, and I'm going to show you how we're going to use those. By the way, did anybody know that they now come as oatmeal and yogurt? I haven't tried this yet. I just picked it up at the store, but I can't wait. What we're going to use as our color scheme is the Easter kind of corn. And it comes, I've divided it up into colors because that's me. I've got an apple green, spring green. I have a blossom pink. I have an aqua-y blue. And I have a bright yellow, lemon yellow. So we're going to mix colors to match those. And the reason why I'm using the gel inks as opposed to the ceramic inks is because I've got a better yellow with that collection. What I'm going to start out here with, we're also going to use a couple of other products. We're going to use the scraper smoother, and then we're going to use this is my Maker Studio furniture and cabinet cleaner, but we're going to use the Amy Howard in the future because we now can order that through the Maker Studio website. And the reason why we're going to use this is because when you pull the label off the jar, it leaves a residue. So this is one it's emptied out, and you can usually get it started on the corner here and pull it off. So I'm just pulling it at a diagonal angle. But if you look at it, there's still some yucky residue on it here. Oh, there's some, it's hard to see but there's yucky residue. And so what I'm going to take, I like using blue or white shop cloths. I'm going to fold it in quarters, eighths, so it's about that size. I'm going to put a dollop of the cleaner on it like this. And I'm going to rub it on this. And it takes it right off. In that amount of time, I just got all the gunk off. And I tested it with Goo Gone versus this, and our furniture cleaner, our cleaner works better than the Goo Gone does. Plus, it's got a nice kind of scent to it. Amy always about making it all smell good and non-toxic and all of that. But that's how it is. And at this point, I would, who else collects them like I do? I ran them through the dishwasher after I got the gunk off of them. Make sure you close this up. You don't want it spilling all over everything. I'm going to actually be using this later this spring. I'm going to be painting my kitchen cabinets, and I'm going to clean them really well with this product before I start putting the paint on. The stencil we're going to be using is our folk art stencil. And what's really cool is these tri-mesh stencils. You get 2 in a set. And I love these bunnies, but if you look at the size of the jar, they are too big for it. However, this sweet little leaping one here is the perfect size. I have made my prototypes using the sheet as a whole because I wanted to show you what that looks like if you use the sheet of the whole. And then I'm going to do what I really want to do. This really works well that I've lined it up where I've used the point of the ear and lined it up right up to lip of the glass. And then I'm going to put it here. And what happens, because this is a round surface with a slightly smaller dimension at the top, see how it wrinkles up here? And that makes it harder to get a smooth surface on it. So what I'm really going to do is I'm going to do it on its base as well. And these are our tri-mesh stencils. They are adhesive on the back. It is so cool because they are reusable. And you can wash them out. You'll see this is a little bit yellowish here. And that's because the ink actually may get on the gray, but it's not holding off on the mesh part. It's like a really fine silk screen. So the detail you can get with these stencils compared to other stencils is magnificent. Okay, so I've got this little thing here, and I'm actually gonna, what I do when I get done with these, I use, I'm gonna take a permanent marker and mark what design this is from, that this is from, in the corner of the label, there's a little tiny number there. So I'm gonna mark this number 474, so I know what collection it came from. And then I get plastic sleeves that are for business cards or things like that and keep them all in a notebook so I can keep them organized, but that I can use them as I want. I really love doing that with the alphabet. What I want to do here though, so it's going to fit smoother, okay, here's our ear up at the top. And here's our bunny. And see, it's wrinkling here. What I want to do is take a snip, snip. I'm going to take a snip here between the ears. In this spot here. 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 And here. And what happens then is when you put this, smooth it around, some of these pieces will spread open and some of them will overlap. So you see you've got a little gap here. That's okay because we're not going to worry about that. But it goes on so much smoother and it's just holding down perfectly. I love this doing it. I was so frustrated when I was doing it before, but I wanted to show you actually cutting it apart. I'm going to move this down a little bit, the camera, so you're going to lose my face now, and we're going to see if we can do it onto the project here better. Okay. I am going to, oh, one last thing. I'm going to go back up again. I'm going to tell you what colors I'm going to use. I'm going to grab the green, the medium blue, the pink, and the yellow. But then I'm also going to grab two more colors. I'm going to grab the red and the white because I'm going to custom mix some of my colors. As I said, I'm the Color Filled Cottage, so I'm always going to play fun with the colors. But the first one we're going to do is we're going to do it with just the yellow so you can see how it actually works. So I'm going to go back down again. I'm going to take one of our scrapers and I'm just going to cut a piece off of it. Oh, here's this. So I have a piece of glass here. I tend to like that. You can also, I'm just going to put a dollop on it. Oh. There's my dollop. Put a little bit on here, and I'm just going to scrape it on. I'm actually going to use the straight edge, the straighter edge rather than the curve. And if I go off the edge a little bit, it's not going to be critical. It's easy to clean up. Going all the way up to the top of the ear, skipping that gap in between the ears. Okay, now I'm going to take this at the straight edge again. I ended up using the curvier edge, and I'm going to really scrape across this and get some of that excess off. Because if I leave the excess on there, it's going to end up being a little bit gloppy. And here, you know, that awful smell, that awful sound that you're hearing, you want that sound because that means it's going through the mesh. I'm going to just look here, turn upside down. Oop, I got to get a little bit more on that tip that just went under the lip. So I'm going to peel this off. Is that the cutest little bunny? I'm going to see if I can get this. If I put white behind it, you can see it better. So there's a cute little bunny. And there is a tiny bit of the ink that ended up in between here. I love taking a pointed cotton swab. And I got mine at a Gerb's, which is our local version of Safeway. And I'm going to dip it in a little bit of water, squeeze the excess water out, drop it on my ink, and just take it off with this. You can also wait till it dries and just scrape it off. Now, this was good, but that just mushed when it rolled into my ink here. That's called being clumsy. But that is how you do it with one color. I'm going to show you how I might mix another color. And I'm going to do it in one of these little jars. I love these little, these are little shot glasses for that you use for Jello shots. I'm going to put a little bit pink in there. You can see the pink, but it's a little bit washed out. So this is where I'm going to grab my red and add just, see how much red I added? Hardly any at all. Hardly, and just a dollop on there. Close that lid up. Oop, get the right lid. We don't want the yellow lid on it. And then I'm just going to take another piece of my thing and I'm going to mix it up here. And you're going to see the whole color become a little bit richer colored. See how that became a stronger pink? And it only just took a tip of the red. And so that would be what I would use the pink with. So that's how easy it is to do these. I'm going to show you this one here, because this one is one where I ended up getting extra design on it that I didn't want because it was all piece. And so I'm just taking the ends of my scissors and the color, this is already dried, and I just scraped that off. And that actually worked better than the Q-tip of getting the excess off. So just wait for it to come off and And you can even do that with your thumbnail, fingernail. So here's the blue. I have my green. I tried to see whether I liked the matte sealer over it to give it a little more permanent, since it's a gel ink, not the ceramic. Nah, didn't like it. And I'm not sure what I did with my little pink one. But oh, before I forget, this now has ink on it, and we want to get it, just dip it immediately into water. That'll hold it together long enough that it will get the stuff off of it. To get the ink off of it, I'm going to put it under the sprayer in my sink. I'm going to, here, let me tilt back up again. I'm going to put the sprayer in my sink, a little hand soap or a little general dish soap, and then I'm going to use a scrubber like this, or a microfiber cloth that has micro dots on it. The Scotch one, that's the green, is the heavy duty. That's a little bit too hard. And then but the one with the blue is perfect. And I'm going to put it like on the flat surface on my counter, scrub it like this to get the, if this was it here, I would be scrubbing it like this, and you would get the extras off. If you accidentally let it dry a little bit too long, you can take a fine, like a sewing needle or a pin or a tip of something, and gently scrape it off. But we really don't like doing that because you might scrape a little bit of the actual design off. But this then just comes off pretty easily. So what are we going to do this with this now? So I've got my blue, my green, and my yellow. So I could put the same color in, but I think it's going to be more interesting Here we have our colors. Here's the yellow. So I'm going to put blue candy corn in the yellow. And so there you have this cute little yellow. It shows up against the blue. You've got your cute little bunny here. Oh. Mirror image is not my forte. So you've got your cute little bunny with the candy corn. The other thing you can do is, where did I grab my, these little battery operated votive candles. Let me see. Oh, this one just presses on. I like dropping it in first, and then this one, I think I'm going to use the green in it. Nope, I'm going to go ahead and just do the opposite color. So I'm going to do the yellow, and then the pink and green will reverse each other as well. And you're going to want to put a few of them around the edges first so it starts keeping that center. You could put a glue dot in the center if you wanted to, underneath the candle. Oop. Let me see, toss those over the edge. I have numb fingertips, so feeling it there is not the easiest thing. I'd love to try. I found out recently that you can get these as remote control, so I'd love to try that with a remote control. And here's this one here, the yellow, and look at how cute the light looks coming out of the center of that. And we are right at 20 minutes. Again, I am Sharon at the Color Filled bouncing. I'm Sharon at the Color Filled Cottage. Thanks for joining us for the Makerthon. Bye.